This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 952, Aware and Good People, both by Colin Wright of ExileLifestyle.com and my very own personal narrator, Justin Malik, reading to you from the best blogs I can find. This is an award-winning show thanks to you. And I have two posts today, both from Colin Wright of ExileLifestyle.com. And I found him through the minimalists, who were the very first authors to give me permission to narrate their content, fun fact. And before we get to the posts, hiring is challenging, but there's one place you can go where hiring is simple and smart. That place is ZipRecruiter, where growing businesses connect to qualified candidates. Try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/old. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Aware by Colin Wright of ExileLifestyle.com. It's hard to know what to think sometimes. Perhaps the news seems unreliable and you're not sure what sources to trust. Perhaps your own ideologies are beginning to fray at the edges and you're not certain which of your own heuristics to follow anymore. Maybe you've been exposed to new ideas, new data, new people who invalidate your biases, new foods that indicate you may, in fact, not hate cumin as much as you thought you did. In such moments, I find that focusing on being aware rather than being right can help. Seeking out knowledge instead of affirmation. Being open to information of all kinds rather than seeking out data points to confirm a stance already taken. Not having an opinion about something other than, I'm not sure, but doing my best to learn and understand. You can, of course, be aware and act in alignment with your beliefs at the same time. But when your beliefs and the narratives that inform your beliefs are themselves evolving, rerouting your energies toward new information, toward accurate self-perception, toward connecting the dots into a more well-rounded context, allows you to keep growing without limiting your growth to any particular direction. It increases the scope and span of your view without requiring you to first define exactly what it is you're looking at. We needn't have an opinion about the Peloponnesian War to learn about it. We needn't decide how we feel about a particular author before reading a book they've written. We needn't bend the information that we encounter through a lens we've spent years grinding into the proper shape. A shape, by the way, that is determined by how we subjectively see the world and through which we have decided to interpret all new information in the future, despite not knowing what that information might be and who we might be when we encounter it. We are, in fact, better off, in a better position to achieve a pure intake of information when we're acquiring it in moments of increased malleability. It's not easy to wriggle free of our preconceptions every time we encounter new data about the world. As such, it's when we're at pivot points, when we're feeling most confused and listless, that it's best to soak up more of the world, to meet new people, to read and listen and watch and interact broadly. There's a reason we're predisposed to go out and travel or seek out new groups of friends when we're at our most disoriented or discontented. We want to fill in the gaps, certainly, but we also want to create new ones. We want to figure out what other challenges are out there and what other filters we might apply to those we encounter moving forward. We want to know how best to interpret all this raw data we're taking in, how to understand it, and hopefully, how to most ideally shape who we are, inwardly and outwardly, so that we're regularly rearranging our internal furniture and becoming increasingly refined versions of ourselves. Sometimes these moments are foisted upon us by the world, by other people, by our own biologies. Sometimes we seek them out in moments of clarity or moments of muddle or moments of boredom or outrage or rebellion. However you got there, these are not moments to be wasted. Embrace them for what they are, opportunities. Take a step outside your norms, take a deep breath, and take in as much of the world beyond the familiar as you dare. I have another article from him for you in just a sec, but first, thank you again to ZipRecruiter. Hiring is challenging, but there's one place you can go where hiring is simple, fast, and smart. A place where growing businesses connect to qualified candidates. And that place is ziprecruiter.com/old. ZipRecruiter sends your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, but they don't stop there. With their powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter scans thousands of resumes to find people with the right experience and invite them to apply to your job. ZipRecruiter is so effective that 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. And with results like that, it's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the highest rated hiring site in America. And right now, my listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/old. That's ZipRecruiter.com/OLD. ZipRecruiter.com/old. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Good People by Colin Wright of ExileLifestyle.com. As a kid, I was convinced that I would always be a gamer. I liked games for the challenge they provided and the sense of satisfaction I gained by learning the rules, methodically increasing my skill, and eventually teaching others to enjoy a game's complexities on the same level I did. That feeling hasn't gone away, it's just expanded in scope. Rather than attempting to teach everyone the strategic complexity of chess, I promote literacy and encourage folks to self-educate about anything that seems interesting. Rather than studying tournament games and memorizing StarCraft build orders, I travel as much as possible, seeking out new ideas and learning all about myself and unfamiliar facets of the world. Despite this shift, one thing has stayed very consistent. I still work hard to surround myself with good people. Good is generally a horrible word to use when trying to describe something accurately, as it lacks quantifiable definition. But in this context, that's perfect. To me, a good person is someone who is a net positive for the world. Their existence doesn't drain others, it strengthens them. Their attitude about life is upbeat. Things will continue to get better, and they treat others with the respect owed to other members of the same species. These are people of varying skill sets, points of view, faiths, cultures, and economic backgrounds, but all share a certain something that adds up to good person according to my definition. Part of what I loved about playing games was that they allowed me to pull free of reality for a bit and imagine what if. You can be the nicest person in the world, but when you sit down for a game of Risk, chances are you'll be just as backstabby as anyone else at the table. The fantasy world you dive into while gaming is only fun, however, if the game is different from real life. Competition is a pleasure with good people, but if the people you're playing with are antagonistic to begin with, chances are the game will become just another stressor. Slaughtering each other's armies will hit too close to home. Games are a challenge you face together, even if you're on opposite teams for the duration. They give you the opportunity to think with cold cunning in an environment where you can stand up at any time and extract yourself from that world, where you can test your mettle and your wits without needing to actually be the kind of person who callously conquers South America for fun. I often view life as a game, and one that can be far more strategic and rewarding than any of the tabletop or video variety I've ever encountered. But just like playing Risk, the challenges real life presents are a million times more enjoyable when there are good people nearby facing them at your side. In the same way you can choose the people with whom you play games, you can also choose the people with whom you share your life. Make sure they're people who will keep things exciting and challenging, but avoid surrounding yourself with excellent competitors who also happen to be horrible human beings. Update, April 14th, 2017. This is true whether you're a hardcore extrovert or a massive introvert. The number of people in your life isn't what's important. It's the quality of those people based on attributes that are important to you. You just listened to the posts titled Aware and Good People, both by Colin Wright of ExileLifestyle.com. And I'll keep this ending nice and short for you today. Have a great rest of your Friday, a great start to your weekend, and I'll see you through the weekend where your optimal life awaits.